So why don't you pop into the chat box? Where are you tuning in from? What are you drinking tonight? No shame if it's a margarita. And what oil you brought? Okay, I brought lime, and here's why. I don't have a whole list of of all the things that lime does for you aromatically, but for me, it's like happy. When I smell lime, it's like this invigorating happy. It reminds me of summer and happiness. And that is kind of like my theme for this business this year and beyond, is just enjoying it and finding the joy in it and making it fun, because why not? It's our own business, and so we get to make it fun. So I thought, okay, lime is fun. Orange was like the second, orange or grapefruit, but lime took the cake. So okay, stress away. Yay, stress away. Everyone's got stress away. Thieves. Awesome. Valor, love it. Hi. Believe. Oh, believe is a good one. I almost did envision, but should have done envision, because you're going to hear a lot about envision or vision tonight. But all right, let's get going. So you guys, I have a PowerPoint, and if you are new here, this is rare. We are not super formal people. We are just a whole bunch of humans. Some of us are moms, some of us aren't moms, some of us work full-time, some of us work part-time, some of us don't work out of the home, some of us work out of the home, some of us homeschool, some of us send our kids to public school, private school. We're in all different seasons of life. Some of us are in our early 20s, some are in college, some of us are in the 20s and 30s, some of us are in that next stage, 40s, 50s, 60s. And so basically you will find a little bit of everything on our team. We have, I think we have about 12 or 13,000 active customers in our downline. And I always think it's important to remember, if you don't ever feel like you see enough of people like you in your season of life, or your whatever makes up you, you get to create it. And so remember that tonight as you're listening. If there's ever anything that just doesn't sit right, and not even like a negative way, but you're just like, oh, I wouldn't want to do it that way. I'd rather do it this way. Or I have this idea and I think it's going to be better suited for me and my people. Do it. Like, that is the beauty of this. I am not your boss. No one on here is your boss. If you happen to be in their downline or a part of their structure, they're just a coach who's coaching you along, who believes in you, and who is so glad you're here. But the beauty of this is we are all entrepreneurs, whether this is your first day or you haven't even bought your brand partner kit yet, or you've been here forever. You get to do your business your way. But the cool thing about our team, and a larger team that we're a part of, is that we have so many resources and things that you can plug into if that's what you need. Okay. And so we have spent, I've been doing the Young Living business for 9 years. I got my kit in November of like 2013, I think. And I didn't get it to do the business. I just was on Pinterest, of all things, Pinterest, and it's actually making a comeback for prospecting and networking, FYI. I was on Pinterest, looking at Pinterest, I guess Pinterest pins. I guess I was searching Pinterest, not Google, for ear infections and skin things and some emotional needs for my 2 little kids at the time. And I stumbled upon a website. The website was the Baby Steps team. And I sent them a Facebook message and I said, can I get oils from you? And they said, yeah, here's a link. And I bought oils from them based on a pin they had put on Pinterest that linked me to their website. And I had never met them. Nobody pitched me oils. Then nobody pitched me the business. I truly had no idea who the Baby Steps team people were. None of my friends were doing oils. And I love saying that because I think that Young Living is, we are set apart from almost every other MLM I know, in that we truly are product driven. A matter of fact, you're going to hear me probably a couple of times say tonight that we just don't talk about the business enough. A lot of the lack of brand partners that you might feel like you have, or maybe you don't have any brand partners on your team yet, is truly a result of we're just so obsessed with our products because they work. And we're so focused on helping people get wellness and get solutions and ourselves. And like most of us, I mean, put in the chat box, how many of you guys decided to do the business mostly on your own, like on your own, maybe write on my own, or if someone heavily recruited you into the business, then write, I was recruited into the business. So say in the chat box, did you start this sharing mostly on your own, or did someone like, track you down and recruit you? We're going to see, yeah, a little of both. We're going to see a ton of on our own, because that is the majority of what happens. But what I want to do and what I want to propose for us as a team is we start making the shift to really a 50-50, where when someone joins our team, they absolutely join for the products, number one, because I don't want anybody selling something they don't love. Like, I really, truly would ask them not to share some. We would rather have authenticity than fake selling, right? So number one, we will always lead with the product. But I would love that in our team, every single customer also knows about the business within that first couple of weeks. And it doesn't even have to look like business. It just means we're talking about the beauty of our affiliate link, our referral link, the 50% commission that's available to them when they help their friends in their friends' first months of ordering. Just normalizing that lingo, because that is going to boost the amount of brand partners that you start to have. And there's nothing better in this business than doing it with others and not going alone. And so I'm excited for that. And so kind of right before I jump into the actual presentation, in the last 9 years, we have gathered so much wisdom, mostly from mistakes falling on our faces, right? This business is boop, do, 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 do. And if you are in a valley right now, just hang on, stay the course. There will be peaks, there will be valleys. Normally after a peak is a valley. So just brace yourself, they're coming. But all throughout these past 9 years, we've learned from our mistakes and from the things that worked. And we've been able to put together so many amazing systems. And the team we're a part of, the Life Steps team, or they're called the Baby Steps team. It's Callie Shepard and Courtney Kreitz. Courtney Kreitz and her husband, they're at the top of the company, the tippy top. They have hundreds of thousands of customers on their team, and they have created an app called the Life Steps app. And that Life Steps app you could literally build your entire business from an app. Like, if you're an app person, you will love it. I mean, everything you need, from telling you what to do that day, what to do for your new customers, what to do for your new brand partners, reminders, product reminders, education, Zoom calls, graphics, anything. Like, you could literally build your business from the app and nothing else. Everything's there for you. Okay. But on top of that, we also have opportunities to have community and thriving Facebook groups and message threads and calls like this. And you're going to hear a lot of other opportunities in addition to that app tonight. And my advice to you is just pick what you think is going to work. Try a few things out and then just pick something and run. Because when I first started, there was an abundance of hope and excitement and dreaming and like for what this business could be. And almost like a naive, like kindergartner on the first day of school who's not nervous, but actually excited. Like, I have no idea what to expect tomorrow, but I cannot wait. Right. Or like before your first day of your job, if you're like not nervous, but you're excited, like there's this excitement of what this business can mean, right? I'm going to pay off my student loans. I'm going to build a house. I'm going to travel. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to be able to stay home with my children or whatever, right? And so a lot of us started our business on those, and we kind of came to a point where we were like, okay, we have this hope. Now we need the map. We need the resources to do this thing and make it duplicable so we can help our teams do it. And so now we have all those things. And what I want to encourage you tonight is the things that we have for you are amazing, but they're just a map. I can give you every single step. I could literally tell you what to say on your social media posts. I could narrate your every single day. And that's what people actually want. They really want you guys deep down, especially if you're new, what you would love more than anything is if I would tell you every single day what to do. But what I have found over the last couple years of having all of these resources is that the resources only get you so far. They're just a map. The gas that actually makes you grow the business is the belief that you can do this, the hope, the vision for what this could be. Because guess what's going to happen? even if I give you everything to say, everything to post, everything to do, every step, every rank map, every call to be on, if you don't have a reason for being here and a vision for where this can take you, the first time you hit a roadblock, it's going to be really hard to keep going. A whole bunch of resources and steps and next steps will not help you when you don't know that you don't even believe that you can be here, or you have no idea why you're showing up, because it's not going to be this yellow brick road. And so tonight is about the merger of both, finding your vision, learning how to enjoy this, and using the resources we have to take that fuel and drive you to where you want to be. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and I also have a couple people that are going to help me tonight. Lindy is going to be sharing, Lindy Goodman. She's a platinum on our team, and Heather Nienhauser is going to be sharing. And I wasn't sure, oh, Heather's here, good. Heather, I wasn't sure if she was going to, what time she was going to be on. And so I have Lindy kind of built into the thing, but now I know Heather's here. I'll just kind of pass it on to you when you're ready, Heather. They're both platinums. They've been with well, they can introduce themselves, but they've been here pretty much since the beginning. And you guys are going to be so blessed by their wisdom. Okay, I am going to screen share and kick this off. And the reason I'm doing this PowerPoint is to keep us going on task, and also to give you some visuals, the ability to screenshot if you want, but I also have this presentation if you want it. There's going to be a couple graphics that I will give you because I think they'll be helpful. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so starting off, don't need that. That's just the fancy cover. Let me make this smaller so you're not distracted. Okay. Okay. All right, so the first thing I want you guys to do, if you haven't gotten out your oil yet, grab your oil, apply it, take a deep breath. Just calm yourself a little bit. I want you to take a pen and a paper, or whatever you have, a napkin and a pencil. And I just want you to jot, just sort of brain dump anything that comes to mind. What are your thoughts about your business right now? And you might be like, what business? I don't even know what I'm doing here. Someone just gave me this link. Awesome. Like, write whatever pops in your mind about your business right now, and just start writing as much as you can. It can be positive, negative, whatever. What are your thoughts about your Young Living business right now? Yeah. Okay. We have a couple of boys joining. My oldest son, he's in 6th grade, and they're having a national football championship watching party in the basement. And a mom just, this is 8:20. We should be sleeping, right? A mom just dropped off some boys. So anyways, sorry for the little segue. Okay, what are your thoughts about your business now? Okay, hang on to that. We are going to come back to these at the end of the call, okay? All right, so the agenda for tonight, we are going to talk about how to launch your business if you're a new brand partner. And those of you who are not new, take note of this, because this is how you're going to launch all your brand partners this year, okay? How to re-engage if you've taken time off, very normal. How to make your plan for just 1 month at a time, a vision for what Young Living can be, tips for how to show up with peace, commitment, boundaries, and grit, some celebrations. And then Heather's going to share And if we have time, we'll talk about Hawaii. Otherwise, we will just put that information. We'll keep putting that into the Facebook group, but we will do a little Q&A if you have questions about that. So let's just jump right in. All right. So the first thing I have for you guys is this graphic. And I saw this, someone else had done this for their team. And I thought, man, if someone is a visual learner, this would be super helpful. And so what I've done is I've kind of mapped out sort of like my plan for how I want to come alongside and help you guys this year in 2020. And I know that some of you guys are a part of other teams. In addition to myself, you have other uplines, right? Like Meg Burns is a diamond on our team who has, she's very plugged into Life Steps and is does a wonderful job helping co-lead those things. And so she's got an additional challenges and things like that she's heading up. I know that the other girls on here, Alicia and Jess Numbers and Megan Eman and Lindy and Meg Cockle and Amy Christian and Heather and Heidi and Rachel and Linda and all these girls, they all have additional things they might have to offer for you. You could easily get decision fatigue, but just breathe. Just find your spot that you want to plug in and run with it and let the other things go. Okay. All right. So let's start with this column over here. I am a new brand partner. So this is kind of my vision for you guys. Now, I'm not going to keep cross referring, but I'm going to say it one more time. If you're an app person, you could also just hop on the app and go through their new brand partner checklist and course. Okay, so everything I'm telling you tonight is also there. But if you want a more group setting, that I guess that's probably more what I offer, is a more of a group setting to some of those same things they offer there in a on your own time basis. So I'm a new brand partner. What do you do? Well, my encouragement is that first you go through brand partner school or you hop on our Power Hour calls, which are, if you have been around here for a while, they were WHAM, which is weekly accountability meeting. I kind of felt like that was a negative, like, I don't know, kind of like, well, I got to show up to my weekly accountability meeting. And so we're switching them up. They're Power Hours. They're an hour. And we're only meeting every other week. We're just going to take things a quarter at a time. So January, February, March, this is our plan. First and third Mondays at 1 p.m. Central. And that is basically where I come and I offer coaching to anybody on my team who wants it. We'll have some specific topics that we talk about, but you get to come and you get to basically have access to whatever you need from me. And I will also be coaching on things at that, and it's twice a month. I just decided last semester we were doing them every single week. And I just decided that you guys need to use your time to grow your businesses. And I don't want to keep taking up your time and doing all these calls. So those are Power Hours. Okay. Brand Partner School is this one. Now I could click and, oh, okay, there it is. I didn't click. Okay. So this is actually a clickable link that you guys were going to be able to use. If you're not in this will take you right to Brand Partner School. It looks like this. You get to click join and you can join it. Or you can, I can show you what it actually looks like. And basically this is a video. Oh, hang on a second. I need to change up my screen share. This is just a video course that teaches you how to do the business. And so it's just, and there's an app version of this, but it's free to you. And you click on this and then you walk through the video and it tells you exactly what to do. So if you have someone on your team who wants to become a brand partner, you're like, I don't know what to do. This literally tells them everything from logging in and purchasing their business essentials kit to, and then you just click and you watch the video. Okay. There's a video that starts. I'm not going to play every video. Just wanted to show you what it is. We're going to X that out for now. Okay. So there's that. Then it's set up your direct deposit. Again, the video, they're all very short. They're like a minute long. And it just walks you through exactly how to set that up so you get paid, how to grab your referral link, how to create a deep link that's connected to a product or create a wish list. How do you unlock that 24% off? what is network marketing and social selling, right? Because a lot of people are going to be interested in sharing the products with an affiliate link, but this just kind of like appetite a little bit. Oops, hang on. I gotta make sure everybody's muted. Okay, so that's Brand Partner School. Okay. The other thing, I'm gonna go back. Is the Brand Partner Quick Guide. Now, Brand Partner School goes, it not only takes you through those beginner basics, but it also goes and it helps you to get to STAR. It tells you about terms of the, like, what's PV, what's OGV, like literally everything you would want to know is right there, and it's in video form and it's very easy. The other thing I want to share with you is the Brand Partner Quick Guide. And this is a completely updated thing. And so there's one way you can learn how to do the business, and that's through those videos. And if you are a visual learner, then the other way you can do it is through the Brand Partner Quick Guide. And so I'm going to show you that really quick, and you will get the link to this, and it will be amazing. This is something you can print. This is something you can email your customers, you can print them, you can put it in a binder, whatever you need. But basically, it just walks you through. This is the table of contents. I do highlight Brand Partner School because in my mind, if you were going to enroll a new customer and they were interested in the business, you could say, hey, here's a quick short, like 20-page quick start to our business. And in there, you can click to join our online, Brand Partner School if you want to. And so this also, they click here or here, I've highlighted it twice, where they can, yeah. So anyways, and I just said it's a peek inside what you will learn. This video series will take you less than 30 minutes to complete. And it's true. All the things that they'll learn there in phase 1. This is how to make money. That's all people want to know, guys. Okay. That's so important. And, we get really chatty with things sometimes, and we're like, what rank do you want to be? People just want to make money. Nobody cares what rank you are. Ranks do not pay the bills. Ranks do not buy groceries. Ranks do not fill your car with gas. Ranks do not pay daycare. Money pays those things. Okay, so we want to help you make a paycheck, and we are here to help you do that. If you ever at any time want to expand your paycheck, reach out and ask for help understanding how to do that. But the biggest way you're going to do that is this Fast Start bonus, because the Fast Start bonus is 50% commission your first month and 25% in the second and third month. And that is earned by enrolling. Now, tonight, I'm not going to explain all this. I'm just showing you where it's at. Here is a little bit about how to unlock the discount. What is loyalty rewards? This is basically a business in a printable, like, step-by-step to the business that you could have at your fingertips. This is a monthly checklist. This is a highly requested thing, is people just want to know, like, if I can work once a week or once, what do I need to do? If I can show up every day. And so here are things you can do if you're going to try to show up daily. If you can only show up a couple times a week, you're definitely going to want to, and regardless, these things should be done once a week. These things should be done once a month. And these are just additional things you can kind of add in. There's a new customer checklist. So if you get a new customer, this is really helpful, especially for those people who are, if you're like a newer brand partner and you're starting to enroll people, then it's kind of like, then what, right? And we get really excited when someone says yes. And then we get really gun shy after that, because we don't want to bug them. We don't want to overwhelm them. And I just want you to know that customer care means so much, because it means that you're not after just a sale. When you actually develop that relationship and do some of these things, these are all options, but if you start to do some of these things with them, it speaks volumes of how you care for them outside of just getting them to sign up. If you want to, I really think it's important to send a welcome email. You can literally copy and paste this one. If you have a new brand partner or you're a new brand partner, here's a great expanded new brand partner checklist for you. Here's a nice little steps to STAR, which is the first rank. All the terms that you're going to hear us mention. I mean, in the beginning, I was like, what's a leg? What's a level? All of that is right here. The bonuses that you have available to you, the ranks, the comp plan. And then here's just some additional great information for you. Okay. So that is the quick guide. Hang on one second. Okay, so let's keep moving. I'm going to go much quicker through the next couple things because I don't want to bore you guys. Okay, so we have Power Hour, the Life Steps. Every Thursday night, they have a call. So if this 1 o'clock doesn't work for you, you can hop on the Life Steps call if you're an evening person. I just want to offer these for those people who can't make evening calls. It will be different types of content. The Life Steps calls this year are very much geared towards new people launching their business, which is so fabulous. I'm viewing my Power Hour calls as a more intimate, like coaching setting for people in my team, okay, which is you guys. And then if you want mentorship and coaching, you can always reach out to your leadership and so on. Stay in the know, all these things. This graphic is going to be pinned at the top of Sunshine Society. It's going to be our new welcome thing. You'll see it in all the things I send because it just kind of helps you figure that out. If you're here and you're re-engaging, I just want to speak to you and just say, welcome back. Like I have said from the beginning, it is an okay thing to take breaks as short as a week or a year or years. And I think people take breaks and then they immediately feel this intense guilt, shame, weight of what did I miss? It feels like too much to come back. Is my team wondering where I've been? Do my customers even remember me? Right? All these things. And none of those things are like, we have to just release all of those thoughts and tell ourselves a different story. I'm so glad I get to be back. I'm so glad I get to hop right back into our team. I'm so glad that this team has a place I can plug right back in. I'm so thankful that there are places I can plug my customers in, and just rewrite that, because the longer you carry that shame around about and guilt about being gone, the longer you're going to take to actually jump back in. Okay. This is just another visual for a new brand partner. I know I had that big one and I know there's a few other floating around, but the other day, I think it was Gabby. She's like, I just have a new brand partner starting. Does anybody have a checklist? And I thought this was a great one that you could send people if they're interested in becoming a brand partner. These are just basically their first things they need to do. Again, just a visual form. Okay. I'm going to pause and I am going to ask Heather just to change it up a little bit to hop in if she's still here and share a little bit about her story of kind of where she started and what is working for her really well right now, because you guys need a change in whoever's preaching to you. I need to shush and Heather needs to take the floor. So Heather, okay, so Heather is a relative of mine. She's actually like my third or fourth cousin. I've known her my whole life. I enrolled her at one of our first classes. And I don't know how long it took her to do the business, but she has been such a loyal, consistent, faithful brand partner. And I will never forget when Heather really started jumping into the business and caught on and set a goal for herself and really caught a vision for what this could be. Heather was just had her first baby at the time when she started using the products and sharing. And she was did not want to go back to work. She was going to also then have a second baby. And for her, that's what this business became, was a means to not having to go back and work full time. She wanted so bad to stay home with her kids. She's a farmer's wife. And I think the best thing about Heather's story is that she didn't hit the timeline she wanted. She, when she had her second baby, she still had to go back to work. And I think I cried. So we just cried and cried and cried because she wanted it so bad and it didn't happen. But I share that because that is the realness of this, is you are going to have goals and you're going to have a timeline and you're not in control of the when. And sometimes you're not even always in control of the how, but you are in control of the why. Okay. And Heather focused on why she was going to show up. Sometimes the how changes. You have people that come and go, right? You have customers that decide to stop to order, brand partners that step away. how you're going to get to those goals is going to change. When you're going to achieve them, it's going to change. There are so many factors out of our control, but you can control how you show up and you can control why you show up. And Heather did that, and she eventually got to stay home, and now she has a third baby. Well, not much of a baby anymore. I think Taylor's like 3 or something, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And it's just such a joy to see her living out the vision she had for this and living in her time freedom. So Heather's going to share a little bit about what's working for her, because she's recently took an entirely new pivot in her business strategy.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, Lindsay. That was so good. I love like you talking about how the how can change for sure, because it definitely does. So a little bit, Lindsay talked a little bit about it, so I'm not going to reiterate like my entire story, but in March I will have had my oils for a year, and then I started doing the business the January following, so almost a whole year later after using my oils. I think Lindsay came and taught a class for me in like October or November, and that's when I was like, oh dang, this is legit. I am going to do this business because this is how I'm going to stay home. I was not shy of like network marketing. Like I didn't have like a bad experience. I was just like literally looking for the right company, and it was Young Living. So primarily when I started out, Lindsay did teach a class for me, but primarily all of my personally enrolled either came from me sharing on like my Facebook and Instagram, or if they were at my house. I think that's the only like new member class I ever had was when Lindsay came and taught that one for me. And so that's a lot of how I enrolled personally. But the way I grew my team, a majority of was going to people's houses and teaching. Like Lindsay had come to my house and taught for my people. It was easier for me to be the teacher and not the host, or be the host and not the teacher. Like it's hard to be both of those for me. And so I enjoy going to like anybody on my team's house and teaching classes for them. So that is primarily what I did for the beginning, I don't know, 7 years of my business probably. And I loved it. It was great. And then, 2020 happened, the year everybody knows. And it was like, okay, I've got to try to figure out how to keep growing my business and shift and figure this out. And so obviously a lot of us went to sharing online, and in 2021, the summer of 2021, I went to a retreat that was about like social media, but it was primarily an ag focus. And Lindsay said I was a farmer's wife, but like I loved sharing about farming on my Instagram, but I didn't really know how to do it well. And so, oh yeah, sorry, thanks, Lindsay. And so I went to this retreat to kind of learn and just figure out how to do social media well. And then this year, my following has like blown up. I mean, let's see, not this year. We're in 2023 now. The beginning of last year, my following blew up, and I'm still trying to figure all that out and navigate that. But it was like a whole year after me going to that retreat that like I consistently just kept putting in that work to the point that then my following grew. And so just know that like I'm going to share some social media tips tonight, but I loved growing in person because I felt like I had a lot more control over it. So don't be like, oh my goodness, I need to figure out how to share online. Like it's okay if you don't, or if you don't have a huge following, it's okay, because in person is really, really fun too. So Kelly asked what retreat. I don't think she's doing them anymore. It was Natalie Kavorik's like Susie School. She called it Rural Rooted. She's not in Young Living at all. She truly just does social media for people in ag. So, okay. So let me make sure I'm not missing any of my points here that I wrote down. So a big thing that I learned was like everybody has a story. And I know that sounds so cliche. I get it. Like you're like, well, what is my story? But like you can like what you have to offer is just who you are. Like my story, like farming is so normal to me. It's sometimes really hard for me to even understand like what people even want to know about it. But like so many people want, so many people are interested in it. But like to me, it's so normal that sometimes it's easy for me to like think like, oh, I don't have anything to share today, but people want to know. So you also have a story. Obviously, it doesn't have to be farming if you're not in farming, but you can just share who you are, your everyday life, and it is your story. Like, don't make it seem like it has to be this huge, amazing thing. It can just be your everyday life. And then also another thing that's really helped me is to kind of like pick pillars or categories, which I know is like, you're like, okay, now I'm like the whole niche thing. It doesn't even have to like relate to each other. These are my pillars: farming, being a farm mom, so motherhood, fashion, and oils. Like, they're not like anything earth shattering. Like, it's just the categories that it's easier for me to share because I know those are the 4 categories I'm going to be sharing. If it's not in those 4 categories, I can share it if I want to, like in my stories or things like that. But if I don't want to, like, it was very freeing for me to not have to show every single piece of my life. But I could just share in the categories that I wanted to. So I don't know if that's helpful for anybody, but it was really helpful for me. But when you're bringing people in, you want it like with reels or posts or things like that. When you're posting those things to your Instagram, when you bring those people in, they're going to be your target market. If you're bringing them in with some random reel that doesn't even have anything to do with who you are, you're going to bring in all these random people that aren't going to relate to you, and then they aren't going to buy oils. So I kind of see it as like a roadmap for me to like, okay, I want to bring in people in agriculture. I want to bring in farm moms. I want to bring in people who like to, I don't know. I am a very basic, when I say fashion, it's not like Western fashion or like anything like that. Like, it's like just my normal everyday clothes. But like, I like sharing about that stuff. So I'm bringing those kind of people in who relate to me, and then they're going to want to buy oils from me because they relate to me. So you don't want to like share something random that you really don't have any any like that you share consistently, if that makes sense. It can happen and it's fine, but and you'll be shocked, like the most random reels will bring in like random people. But two tops and mini skirts, yes, Lindsay, that's what it is for sure. Okay, and then have fun with it. Like, I know, again, you're probably like, that sounds very basic, Heather, but like, if it's not fun for you to share a reel every single day, don't do it. Please don't. If that feels like too much work, I share like maybe right now, not very many, but like last year, I think I maybe shared 2 a week, maybe. Don't just make it fun. Make it like, don't make it feel like a burden to you, because once it starts feeling like a burden, then people are going to feel that. So however it makes it fun for you in a way that you can show up consistently. Um, and then have a plan for your people when you sign them up, because I feel like for a while I didn't have a plan. Like, if I sign anybody up on Instagram, usually it's not necessarily people I know. So it's not like people who I already have on Facebook who I can just boop, add right into the Facebook group. So like, it was like I needed to have a plan for, okay, this person signs up, now what am I going to do? So those checklists that Lindsay shared earlier are great. Go there, pick out things from it, make your plan. What are you going to do with these new people when you sign them up? Because you're going to sign them up. Whether it's in person or on social media, you're going to sign people up. But if you don't have a plan, you're going to be a lot less confident signing those people up. And I can tell when I have a plan for, okay, this is what's going to happen after I sign them up. This is what I'm going to send them. This is the email I'm going to send them. I'm going to get them in the Facebook group, and I have steps for that. It makes a world of difference in the confidence that you show up in. And then as far as like selling oils, this is kind of what's been working for me. That's just like a general overview of Instagram and that kind of thing. But so share consistently like 3 to 5 things. I know you've probably heard that if you've been around here, but like 3 to 5 things. Mine are like my Ningxia mixed with sulfurzyme and zing, which I count that as one thing. So if it's like a thing that goes together, it's one thing. So that's one thing. I shared that I put on my Endoflex, my Progestins Plus, and frankincense every day. That's one thing to me also. I know it's 3 things, but it's one thing to me. And then like my thieves cleaner. Anytime I use anything thieves. And so what I like to do then is share those things. And the last, let's see, 3 people I would say I've signed up have messaged me and said, hey, what does Young Living have for this? Just because I'm not sharing about it doesn't mean that they don't know that they can come to me and ask me about it. All they need to know is that I'm the oil person and I know what I'm doing because I use my oils every day. So they can come and ask me questions. So these people may or may not have ordered some of the things that I've shared every day, but they know that I'm the person they can come to. And they ask me like, hey, what can I get for this? And they've all ordered over $200. So it does not matter if you're like, because I used to feel like, and even I would say 6 months ago, I felt like this, like, well, if I don't share all the stuff I use with my kids and I don't share all of this and I don't share, they're not even going to know it even exists. They will ask you. They know that Young Living has a ton of stuff. And so they will come and ask you for it if they don't want exactly what you have. So like when I shared my thieves fruit and veggie soap the other day, I just like put a link there that was like shop all my favorite thieves stuff. So they could go in there and they could look, the thieves fruit and veggie wash is in there, but oh, they have all these other thieves things too. So that's kind of with the sharing consistently how that goes. Also, when you are sharing about oils, it is going to be 80% educating, 20% selling. That is also something I learned at the retreat. Is like, even though oils are like a pillar, 80% of that pillar is going to be me educating people and building trust with people and teaching people how to use oils before they come and ask me about them. And I used to like get really caught up on like, okay, do I need to engage with people? Do I need to do this? Like, no, I just need to build trust with people, whether it's with oils or with other stuff I'm sharing. The biggest thing you can work towards on Instagram, regardless of how many followers you have, is engagement. People talking to you and communicating with you, that is what you want. It does not matter. It doesn't matter if you have 10 followers, 100 followers, 100,000 followers. If they're not talking to you, it does not matter. If they're talking to you, then you're building that trust with them and communicating with them. And that is how you actually sell oils. I've figured out, I shouldn't say figured out. I knew this. I've just learned, like, slowly training myself away from like the numbers and that kind of thing mattering to, am I talking to people? Are people like engaging with anything that I post? If I feel like, oh, my stories have been like, I haven't had much engagement on my stories, then I like reel back, like, okay, what do I need? What can I do to engage with my people today? Let's see. Also, talk about your business story. I need to do this better. I'm telling you, and telling myself also, I need to talk about, I mean, Lindsay shared my story. I mean, nobody probably on my Instagram really knows that story besides like the people who have been with me since the beginning, which was not that many compared to how many I have now. So I need to share my business story more. We all need to talk about our business story more, why we're doing the business, what it's done for us so far, all that kind of stuff you can talk about. And again, have a plan for your brand partners when they decide they want to do the business with you, because if you don't, then you're not confident in talking about the business, because you're almost more afraid that they're going to say yes than they're going to say no, because you don't have a plan for them. And then just also know that it takes time for people to build trust with you on social media. That's why I love in person still, because that face-to-face is like, it cuts down the time it takes for them to build trust with you. So on social media, it just takes time and consistency and over again. So like, I'm consistently signing people up now that started following me 9 months, 12 months ago. So it's like, it's hard to like stick in it in the beginning, because you're like, oh my goodness, I'm doing all the things and nothing is working. 12 months from now, you're going to be like, dang, I'm so glad I kept showing up. because they're going to come. I promise you they are. They are. So that is what I had. I don't think I
Heather,
missed.
thank you. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Absolutely.
And I know Heather mentioned it, but you guys, it is important. I'm gonna just put it in the chat box. She shared for like 7 years in her small rural farming community. And she, this is network marketing. And we all come to this business with a different size of impact, not popularity, impact, and just influence. And some of you might have a larger network when you start, and so you might grow faster to senior star or executive or silver. But we all, no matter if it's at star or silver or wherever it is, we will all hit a point where we're like, okay, most of the people that I brought with me to this business, meaning most of the relationships I already had coming into this business, they've either said yes or no thank you or not right now, right? And then that's where the networking begins. And so most of us can jump in and almost just start marketing, right? The selling and promoting of our products. And the people we already have, right? Our friends, maybe a college roommate, neighbors, coworkers, those people that have already developed trust, we can just market to them right off the bat. And depending on how big your network is, you might grow pretty fast. But we all, at a different time, based on our size of influence, will have to learn how, if we want to keep growing, to network. The networking is where you really, like, I feel like, take this business by the horns, and you're going to have to grow some skills. You're going to have to learn how to get out there and have conversations and meet people. And for some of you, it's going to look like just getting out of your car at school and meeting the moms at pickup. For some of you, it's going to be like actually going to that Friday afternoon club at work and building those relationships, not because we're going to sell them all oils, but because we're networking. And if we want to grow this other business on the side, we believe that doing those, like, we just never know, right? You never know what's going to become who's going to become a customer. We don't become friends with everybody so that we can sell them all our stuff, but we're networkers. That's what we do. This is a people business. And so just remember that Heather shifted because it was time for her, and it might not be time for you, or and if you're in a season where you're pregnant and you're like, yeah, getting out in person is not going to happen, what a beautiful gift that you can network online, right? And you can just show your pregnancy and your postpartum, and you can meet other mamas where you are from your bed, from your nursing chair, literally. Like, that will just create a beautiful trust. And so I love that about our business. Okay, we're gonna go fast. And you guys, I apologize that this call is longer, but it's our kickoff call. There's just so many good things to share. So I'm gonna hop back over to this really quick before I turn it over to Lindy. Another visual for anybody who's a visual. So I thought it was really important to me that you guys would really just go into this year with a peace and just a sense of, like, I can do this. I don't need to make a plan for my year. I'm not going to ask you what rank are you going to be next December or November. We're not even going to go there. Okay. I'm not going to ask you all. I just want to help you see that you can make a plan 1 month at a time. And sometimes, now listen, we need to have a vision. We need to have goals. We need to have those things, and we're going to get there. But sometimes when we get too far ahead, then it's the little, like, day, week, month by month that is really overwhelming. So I just want us to just look at each month at a time. And I want you to give yourself permission to plan for 1 month at a time. And that will allow you as well, if life gets hard, or you have a few weeks where you were just off, or there was an emergency situation in your family, or whatever, life just happens, and you need to step away, or you do step away and you miss some of the calls and you forget to send out the promo. It's okay, because guess what? Come next month, you can hop back in. Just take it 1 month at a time. Okay. You don't have to commit I think there's a beautiful thing about even committing each quarter. And Meg Cockle is actually leading us in a book study in the Sunshine Society on the 12-week work. I don't remember what it's called, but and there's a beautiful part about setting a quarter, but I just want to encourage you to look at each month. And so this is just, if you're a note taker, a way to kind of organize that. I think it's really important always to set some goals for your month. If we don't have a few little goals for our month, then the month just happens to us. Then we just sort of flop around like a leaf in the wind, and we react instead of take ownership over our business. We react because we see Lindsay posted a message about a call. Oh, there's a call tonight. Well, I'm scrambling. My husband's out of town and I don't have any, right? Or there's this that was, I'm supposed to do. And we're constantly reacting to the business rather than saying, okay, fresh new month. Okay, there are Life Steps business calls on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. I'm going to pencil those in. There's there's Power Hour coaching calls with Lindsay on the first and third Tuesday. I don't remember at 1. I can't remember when they are. I'm going to pencil those in, right? I'm going to write the promo over here in the side of my planner. I'm going to write like, okay, I've got all the dates in. I'm going to write, oh, Monday night, Life Steps, they do wellness classes. I'm going to write those topics in. Okay, so that I have the whole month. What's happening? Any other calls you could be a part of? Are you doing any classes that month? Write those things in, right? And then set some goals. How many personal enrollments do you want? 1, 2, 10? How many people are you going to try to get on loyalty rewards? At the end of the month, what do you want your team size to be? Do you want to grow? Do you want you and your brand partners bringing in people? What's your OGV goal? How many new brand partners or how many brand partners do you want to have at the end of this month? And what do you want your paycheck to be? When you do these things every single month, and I look back at my route from beginning to diamond, I did this every single month. I also tracked my stats every single month at the end. I would write them on paper, then I'd switch over to a Google Sheet. And it's not that I met my goals every time. That's not what got me there. It's that when I sat down and said, okay, I want to enroll 5 people this month, because if I want to go from star to senior star, I'm going to bring in 500 of that OGV myself and my brand partner. I've got another brand partner, a customer, they're going to do some classes, right? Or whatever. When you set that goal, you show up in a position so much differently on your social media and in person. You look for opportunities to enroll people in versus, well, I'm supposed to share on social media. I'm supposed to do some networking, and oh, I'm making a niche shell. I'll quickly share that. And oh, I'll show my diffuser today. And if somebody messages me or DMs me for a link, then I'll enroll someone. Or if if I share on social media and I go to the school field trip and one of the moms asks me for a link, then I'll enroll them. If you are waiting for your business to happen to you, it's not going to happen to you. You have to take it by the horns. It doesn't mean you are a control freak and you can make it happen. But if you decide, here's what I want to work towards this month, you will look for those opportunities and they will find you. So with that said, set some goals at the first week of the month. Okay. And set that, do that. If you have a planner, I asked you guys to bring a planner tonight. If you do a planner, or if you're a phone person, I love the calendar on my phone because I always have my phone with me. And so like on the first of the month, you could literally go in and say, set goals for YL, and you can go edit that, and you can go repeat every monthly. And then you click save, and then every single month, boop, it just filters in, and then you scroll through, and on the 1st of February, March, April, May, it's just there. It tells you to set goals, right? And so you can kind of pre-program that. Here's what I want you to write down: 25% each in these categories. So when you're planning your month, okay, when you're not highlighted that, and I didn't want to. When you're planning your month, you are going to see a million things in Young Living. You're going to see planners. You're going to see this step-by-step guide. You're going to see pick 3, pick 5, pick 1. There is a million things out there. But remember what I said at the beginning of the call. It's not about the steps and the script and the list. It's about the emotional attachment you have to why you're here. I could tell you the 3 things to do in networking every single day, how to focus on enrolling or whatever. And I do, and I have, and your uplines have. It doesn't mean anything if you don't have a vision for why you're showing up, because guess what? You're going to not feel like doing it. Like, you might be excited tonight, but tomorrow you're going to wake up and your dog's going to have puked all over your kitchen. Your son is teething. Your boss is frustrated with you. Your whatever, right? Like, life happens. And then the last thing you want to do is go network. Like, you just want to crawl in bed and binge Netflix. And so why would you still network? Why would you try to enroll when life was hard today or this week? Because you have a vision for why you're showing up, because you are committed to this, and you're not only showing up when you feel like it or when you're motivated. You show up because you're committed to the dream and the vision you have for what this can mean for you. For Heather, it was like, I don't want to go back to work after I have my second baby. And I've seen many moms be able to quit their job, Lindy and myself included. Show me a mom who has a goal that like has to do with her children, and she will be unstoppable. And so I'm going to say this very cliche thing, but if you find it really hard to show up for your business, you don't have a big enough goal or an important enough goal, and you don't need one. Like if you truly are like, man, Lindsay, I don't know, I love my other job. I'm just doing this because it's fun, or like I'm doing this to like save up for vacation. That is okay. And you might take a more hobby path to this. And thank you for being here. And we respect you. And we are so glad that you are here making this be what it means for you. But if you are someone who has something that they want Young Living to be for them, a means to something else, allow yourself to dream that. Don't protect yourself. We do this thing where we don't allow ourselves to dream, because when we do, if that dream doesn't happen, it hurts. So I'm not going to dream it, and I'm going to protect myself from being hurt by it not happening. Well, nothing's going to change then. Just take the risk. Even if you don't hit that goal on that time you want to hit it by, like Heather had to go back to work. I'm telling you, the hustle and the hard work she put in working towards that, that's what eventually made it possible. If she never would have went for it, she never would have had that like, motivation to get her there, momentum. Okay, moving on. So all that to say, these are like when you plan your month, sit down and just give yourself some accountability and use this monthly checklist, right? That it's in the quick guide. Use that, but just this is accountability for you. It's, am I doing any networking this month? How am I going to enroll? What's my plan? Is it like Heather said, pick your products. How are you going to enroll? Are you doing a class? Are you going to offer samples to your neighbors? Are you going to bring samples to your coworkers? What are you doing for customer care this month? And how are you going to launch new brand partners or do anything with brand partners? And this might just be simply talking about the business on socials or sharing a referral link with a customer. And again, all of those ideas are on there. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to Lindy really quick. And I know you guys were at that hour mark, but just hang tight. We just have a few more amazing things. So Lindy is, oh my gosh, the first time I met Lindy, she was driving through rural Nebraska, actually right where Heather lives. And she was on her way to some sort of like cattle yard. I still don't know what Lindy did for her work, but Lindy was not a mama yet. And she was a road warrior on her for her work. She wasn't always on the road, but she did travel in her territory. And it's so beautiful because Lindy is another mama who, because of Young Living, was able to step away from that job and be home with her baby Oaks at the time. Now she has Stella too. And the other day I was talking with Lindy and we were just kind of even reminiscing, like, wow, similar to Heather, like we forget the power of what Young Living has done for us. And we're so, Heather and Lindy and myself and all of your other coaches on this call and those who can make it, we are just like, we have this renewed sense of excitement and passion and like just joy that we get to come alongside you guys and create these stories for you. And we don't know when. And you might have a timeline. You might be pregnant and you need to whatever, right? Or you might have I want to do this before my son graduates high school and I want to hit to this, right? I don't know. Sometimes we have a timeline because life just keeps going and we can't control that. We also don't know how, but we can help you find your why and we can help you control the things you can control. And now I'm probably taking Lindy's speech. I need a shush. Lindy Goodman, just wave me down.
Okay, I'm actually setting a timer because I want to keep this concise. Thank you, Lindsay. And yes, so I built my business, started from the beginning, alongside an 8-to-5 job that had a ton of travel. And so in that season, and I just share this because I want to encourage you, if you're listening and you're like, oh my gosh, like my work is crazy. Like, I don't know how I would ever like build a business on the side, or home is crazy, or I have like all these kids or whatever. You can figure it out. And so, in the beginning, like it looked like me basically like getting up super early in hotel rooms and working at night. Like I remember, you guys, we have incredible resources now. Back in the day, I remember getting emails. It was like some kind of like training series, and I would get emails and like click the video link every night. And if we missed it, they told us we were like out of the like, training or whatever. I doubt they kicked anyone out, but I was so convinced that I was like, oh my gosh. So it would be like 11:30 at night in the hotel room, and I'm like watching the video for that day because I was not going to get kicked out. But like that is what it looked like for me. And so, and then when I was on the road driving, I was catching the calls, like the recordings to calls that I couldn't be on because I was working with Feed Yard Cowboys, teaching them how to use computers or whatever I was doing. And listening to books. Like I remember listening to, like, I don't know, High Performance Habits or something like that. Like I was always like listening to books, like catching recordings, like doing the things I could, working in pockets of time. Like when I got to hotel rooms, I had a list and like I knew what I was doing. And I was so like motivated to build side income and be able to transition to like working for myself, not because I like hated my job, but I just felt like I was being like my potential was like being limited. Like I couldn't fully like be myself. I knew there were all these things that I was supposed to do. And I wanted to be able to do that in a way that felt very much like at peace for me. And so like I literally had like note cards that I would take with me and like tape on the mirror of the hotel rooms. And like, I mean, I was like so determined to build this business. And so that is what really like the first year and a half of my business looked like. And then I got to transition to where I actually worked for the same company, but from home before my son was born, and then was able to switch to Young Living full time. Which has been such a tremendous gift. So since then, I have gone from that to like now like 2 kids at home working Young Living. And I love that this business is able to kind of transition with us as we go in and out of different seasons. It can look different and all of those kinds of things. And so even if you're someone on here that you're like, hey, it's like Kathy, she's on my team. Kathy, her kids are long out of the house. And I love that, like getting to like see her embrace and run with this business in her way. And so I think one of the coolest things and something that I really want to talk about was that what it looks like to build this business, like from a place of peace. And that is something that I've really had to learn. I think the last 2 years, you will find, first of all, this business, there will be hard points. There'll actually be a lot of hard. There will be a lot of walking through the valley. When you're like, is anything working? What is even happening? What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm tired. Like I'm thirsty. Somebody give me a snack. Like you're gonna have those moments. And so nothing has gone wrong when those things happen. Like I would actually argue that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And that if you are willing to embrace those moments and really stick with it, like you will come out on the other side. And when I think back in my business, the points that I have learned the most are in those valleys. And so my coach told me today, she said, I probably should have got a cough drop before I started this. She said that we were like all made to create. And we're, creating businesses and relationships and she actually said birthing businesses, babies, relationships, like all the things. And like, that is labor. It is hard work and all of those things, but that's what we were created for. And so when we lean into the hard and like accept that part of the journey and embrace it, you will come alive to your life. And there is so much peace and fulfillment and purpose that is found there. And like, I think that is like one of the neatest things about this business is when you actually realize that there is so much purpose to your life There are things that you can only do in the way that only you can. You have gifts that you bring to the table, and you have gifts and things that people need. When you show up with your gifts and you do that, you guys, your world will change. That is when you start operating from a place of peace. That's when you know that you're like, yes, I'm in the valley, but I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I know there is purpose to this hard. There is purpose to the pain. And you keep trudging forward and you keep going, but also you will find yourself linking arms with people that are headed in the same direction as you. You guys, those people are such a gift, such a gift. And so always be looking for like, who is ahead of me that I can like watch and be inspired by, and like allow them to like encourage me on the journey, but then look behind you and see who you can bring up behind you. Who can you be that person for? There's always someone that you're going to be 1 or 2 steps ahead of, even if you're like, what could I possibly offer? Oh my gosh, friend, you have so much to offer. And so when you take full ownership of that, when you're like, I have a place here, I am worthy of being here, I have gifts to share with people, there is purpose for me being here. Me stumbling across this Young Living thing is not by accident. Me stumbling across this business is not by accident. Lindsay messaging me and sharing the business opportunity with me is not by accident. Like being on this call right now is not by accident. There's so much purpose to every single part if you will open your eyes and if you will choose to see it and if you will embrace it. And so that's what it looks like to build from a place of peace, is to really look like, what does it look like for me to do this business? How do I create the joy in my business? How do I create success in my business? Decide what that means for you. And like, you're responsible for creating that for yourself. That is something you can take full ownership of. That is something you have full control over that nobody can take from you, right? You don't need anything from Young Living. You don't need anything from your upline to do that. You can bring the joy to your business, right? If you decide to. And so Lindsay asked you at the beginning of the call, what are your thoughts about your business? You guys, that's the magic. What are your thoughts about your business? That right there is going to determine what you're going to create in your business. If those thoughts are not bringing you joy, you got to think of some new thoughts. And so like really be thinking about, how might I create joy in my business? What does that look like? What thoughts do I need to think to create that joy? Maybe it's just, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Like, I have a place here. Somebody needs what I have to offer. She's been waiting to hear what I have to share. She needs this. Like, there's somebody that is watching you that she needs $50 extra a week for groceries. You know how to help her do that, right? You know how to help her find a referral link and share it with a friend. That's $50. That's actually more than $50. So you have the ability to do that. Okay, I think that's all I have, Lindsay. Lindsay, you're muted.
Thank you, Lindy. I was saying, I knew you would just nail it in every way. If you guys can't tell, Lindy is a life coach, and she was just warming up. Just follow her Instagram, and Lindy, put your handle in there, because she really will. She will coach you every single day, even from her Instagram. So, anyways, I just want to share with you guys some wins, because I want you to see that good things have happened on our team and it's possible for you. And so I just collected just a handful of stats from our team. There are many more golds and many more platinums, and Meg Burns is a diamond, and they're not on here. It's literally just a teeny little sampling. And so I just wanted to show you guys what is possible. Heather spoke tonight. She, in all of her years of Young Living, has brought in, oh my goodness, over $4 million of sales. You guys, last year, $500,000 in sales in just 2022. And 2022 was not a good year for anybody in the world. Okay, so that's legit. She brought in 163 new families to her team in 2022. And I'm just going to tell you this right now. Heather has had many years where this number was probably triple or quadruple at times, actually probably 10x this. And guess who's here smiling about 163 families? Heather. You will go up and you will go down. And there will be many of you, when you go down, who quit. Because the moment you go backwards, you carry shame and guilt and, oh, I guess I wasn't cut out for this. It is normal. It is normal. It is so normal. So hang in there. Okay. Linda, Here's Linda's stats, and I'm gonna give you guys this so that you guys can look through them. But a lifetime of $2 million in sales. Lindy's is 7 million. Megan Eamons is 6 million. Rachel's is over 1 million. Nancy is a silver. She's about 500,000. Chelsea's a gold, 2.5 million in sales. That's our customers buying these products. If there was ever a doubt that the products work, it's in these numbers. And then I want to show you guys some paychecks. This was completely anonymous. I just gave this form out to a random selection of people, and I have no idea who submitted these, but I just said, give me 5 of your silver paychecks. And so these are the numbers that are happening in our team. So this person submitted these 5 silver paychecks, and this is what they're earning at silver. These are another 5 paychecks at silver, another 5 paychecks. Notice this was 1900, and it did go down and up and down to 700. And this is just life. This is normal in sales. That's what happens in real estate, in farming, and there's so many. If you anything outside of the traditional employer-employee, here's your salary, this is normal. Okay, it's going to go up and down and up and down. These are all example paychecks of silver. Here's some of gold from our team. These are people on our team making this much money every single month. These are monthly paychecks at gold. Okay, and you'll notice there's a wide range. And that's just based on team structure. Someone's earning 5,000, someone's only earning 3,000, right? And that's just based on how your team is structured. And then here's a few platinum paychecks. Again, it changes. There's a 12,000 one. There's a 6,000 on structure and total sales. All right. So very, very quickly, I want you to screenshot this. I'm going to run through this, and I want you to just take notes if you can. But this is a perfect idea of the content to share on your social media. Like what Heather said, tell your business story. And Lindy said that you maybe haven't even hit a goal yet. So you don't have the Cinderella story of, I was able to stay home with my children and I was able to buy this vacation home. So what do you share? You share why you're doing this. That is what people will connect with. Not everybody can even, some people don't want to quit their job and stay home with their kids. Some people don't want to homeschool. Some people don't want to have a homestead, right? They love whatever. Share why you're doing this, and that will help them create their own vision for what Young Living can be for them. Not everybody wants your dream and your goals. So only sharing that is a very closed, right? Share what it can be for them, and they'll be able to make their own little map. So number 1, for your own growth and sanctification. You heard this today. Most of these 10, not all of them, are from Edie Wadsworth. I really encourage you to look up Edie Wadsworth. Maybe somebody put that in the chat. She will also coach you every single day. Go follow her on Instagram. You need coaches. You need Lindy. You need Edie. You need free podcasts and free books. You don't need to pay thousands of dollars for things. Please don't invest more than what your business is bringing in, right? Be smart. Get the free content until you can afford the next level stuff, but get coached, okay? Get unstuck. Your own growth and sanctification. Sanctification, if you don't know that word, it's basically like you're being stripped of the things you need to be and pruned to what's pruning, right? You pull off the dead stuff to grow stronger. It's going to hurt. You're going to flub up. You're going to mess up. You're going to say the wrong thing. You're going to teach a class and no one's going to come. You're going to give a sample and they don't want it. Someone might say, oh, you're a pyramid schemer, or Gary Young is like, it doesn't feel good, but it builds your character and it's beautiful. Okay. So for your own growth and sanctification, that's number 1. I also want you to mention that it unlocks your God-given potential. Lindy touched on that, but you get to find out what you're made of. Megan Eamon texted me, and I'm calling her out and she's gonna be embarrassed, but she texted me how amazing Heather spoke. And she just said, wow, Heather has just really stepped into her role. I see it too, Heather. We see you blooming, and just how you spoke tonight and just what you've learned and the wisdom you've gained through your years. And so I'm so glad Megan shared that with me, and I believe it. But that is what happens. We find our potential and it's in there. You're here for a reason. If you weren't, you would just stick with like the road that you were on, the comfortable place. But entrepreneurship is not for everyone. This is like a 2% of the population journey. And you're here because you are going to unlock something in you, and it's a gift that you get to give. And so you also get to unlock the potential in others. So raise your, or just say like me in the chat box, have you been impacted by someone on this call? Has someone on this call already impacted your life, either your business or your life in some way? Have you been impacted by someone on this team already? I'm sure the chat box is going to blow up. That means that someone was able to unlock potential in you. You guys, it's just so beautiful. And if I spend any more time on it, I'll cry because but it takes a long time to find that. And it could be years for some people, just because it's just our growth and it's our journey. But stick with it and be willing to do the hard work. Number 3, it honors the gifts that only you have been given to serve only the people you are meant to serve. I will never go to a conference for ag. I will never talk about farming on my profile. That is for Heather. I tried living in the country once. It was not for me. I'll probably never own chickens. Amy Christian is literally birthing new animals by the hour. I will probably not own an animal. I will buy my eggs from my local farmer, but I'm not going to raise the chickens. It's not for me, and it's okay. Okay. But I have gifts that can help others. I can serve people who, like, the gifts I've been given are for people who are ready to receive them. And you have gifts for other people. And when you stop looking around and trying to do it like everyone else, you will find the people you're supposed to serve. And it is so beautiful. And I said it in the chat box already, but enrolling people and building a business is a byproduct of the actual joy. I have been a diamond or crown diamond now for 6 years. That is a very large paycheck. Very large paycheck. I can officially tell you, money does not buy you happiness. It does bring a lot of peace. Financial freedom is a gift. And I will never stop working so that you guys can experience financial freedom. But it will not bring you fulfillment. It will not bring you peace. It will not bring you joy. It will not bring you identity. I go into Target grocery store looking like just a trash can many days. No one there has any clue that I'm a diamond in Young Living, making the big bucks. I drive a minivan. I live in a very average house. It's the journey. It's finding those gifts, you guys. I just can't describe it. You get to truly create your dream by taking 100% responsibility. And Lindy touched on this, but we cannot blame company. We cannot blame ourselves. We cannot blame others, upline, downline, husband, kids, neighbors, markets, tap, social media, blah, blah. We cannot. You just have to take charge of the things you can change and the things you can own. We already talked about time freedom. You get to prioritize. For me, it's my family and my faith. I get to talk, you'll never not hear my faith on these calls. And it might offend some of you, and that is not my intention, but it's the freedom of you get to build this how you want. And you get to talk and you get to grow how you want. Young Living doesn't even tell us, other than the FDA, and we can't say something is going to cure cancer, we get to grow our community the way we want to. There's financial freedom, the opportunity to work on relationships, to help others find wellness. We have products that are consumable, meaning people will join loyalty rewards and keep ordering. You don't have to sell them why they need to keep ordering. They love the products, okay? All right, so with that said, how to show up, take 100% responsibility. Like Lindy said, create joy in the process. Find joy. You are in charge of that. I cannot tell you what you're going to love. One person's going to love making reels. One person's going to be literally deleting Instagram from their phone tomorrow. And that is true. You both can grow and in a way that you enjoy it. Okay. Anticipate the obstacles and the failures. Do not be surprised. They're coming. Maybe tonight, maybe one of you are going to hop off this call and be like, hot dang, I've got an entire business plan for the month. I'm going to use that thing Lindsay did and look at me go, watch me whip. And guess what? In an hour, your middle child is going to be puking all night long. And then tomorrow, your next kid's going to get it, and the next kid. And then in a week from now, you're going to open up your notes and you have not done anything. That is real life. Just anticipate it. It's okay. Everything is happening for a purpose. You just pick back up when you have time to breathe again, and just go all in a way that fits your season. Okay. All right. Last thing. Now, I want you to write down your thoughts about your business again. What are some thoughts you have about your business? This can be anything, and just drop one of them in the chat so we can close with some excitement. What are you thinking about your business as we finally close this 90-minute call? Thank you for being on here. What I said was pick your most powerful thought about your business. I'll put it in the chat box. Pick your most powerful thought about your, and put it in the chat. Things like, I am serving others. I love caring for my customers and brand partners. I have so much potential. You are basically making a statement about your business, and it might not even be true right now, but it's something you're speaking into existence. And it's what you're showing up for. Okay, so I hope, maybe not, some of you maybe had a shift in your first thought about your business at the beginning of the call till now. And maybe they were both positive, but hopefully now what you're brain dumping is just the passion is there. Okay, tonight was like a lot of just technical logistics stuff and a few like stories in there mixed in. I hope it was a little of both and what you needed, but you are in charge of your business. And you get to decide what this looks like for you, how many hours you're going to spend, all the things. Please take the ownership and decide what this is going to be for you. Use the things tonight to guide you, but ultimately you get to decide what works best for you. And also your team has the freedom to do that as well. That's the cool thing about being an entrepreneur. Thanks you guys for being on. Thank you so much. I will put I saw somebody asked a question earlier, when did the power hours start? I think I said first and third, so they'll start the third, which I think is like next Tuesday or whatever. I will make a welcome post in the Sunshine Society, and I will list all of these things. It will also go out in the Sunshine Society email. And so it will be there. And as always, you can message me on anything, any platform. There's thousands of platforms, and you might have to message me 10 times. I'm not ignoring you. It's just, but always ask questions, and we are here for you guys. We're so excited. Lindy sent me a voice text today, and I didn't tell her I did this. I didn't even reply yet, Lindy. I did listen to it. I got emotional, and then I had to run into Gus's classroom, but I saved it to the files on my phone. And this is the only thing I'm going to say about next year. I cannot wait to play it. I'm playing it, Lindy. I cannot wait to play it next year on this call, because everything she said it gives me chills. And I just know that the leaders on this call tonight and that are going to be reaching out to you, we're ready for this. And some of us took a year or two to just breathe after COVID. Raise your hand if you just felt like you needed just to breathe for a little bit and maybe even go on autopilot. There is nothing wrong with that. Okay, we're here now. We're here with a purpose and peace and joy, and we're ready to help you guys with the why. We'll figure out the how and the when as we go, but we're ready to help you with the why and ready to help you control the things you can control. Okay. All right. We love you guys. Have a good night. And I'll get the recording probably processed to YouTube or something in the next couple of days. I'll try my best as fast as I can. Okay. Bye guys.